Beloved, heaven saw what they never noticed. Beloved, this is not just a message. It is a response from heaven, a divine reply to the ache you tucked away so deeply no one else could see it. Not your friends, not your family, not even the ones who claim to know your heart. But heaven saw it all. The tears you wiped away before anyone could ask. The strength you performed when your soul was exhausted. The silence you maintained so others wouldn't worry. You've been carrying pain like a secret. But heaven doesn't forget what others overlook. Archangel Michael has come today with a holy assignment, not to expose your pain for pity, but to acknowledge it with honor, to declare over your life that the healing has begun. Because the truth is this: your strength was never in pretending everything was fine. Your strength was in surviving when no one asked if you were okay. Psalm 34:18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." You, beloved, are not alone in the darkness you once endured. God was with you even when it felt like silence. He saw what they missed. He heard what you whispered. And now, He speaks. You didn't imagine that heaviness. You weren't overreacting. You weren't being dramatic. You were simply hurting in a world that had no language for your wounds. But heaven has always known how to interpret tears. There are moments recorded in the heavens that never made it to human memory. Moments where you almost broke. Moments where you stayed up praying for answers. Moments where your spirit cried out silently for someone to notice, for someone to stay. And now, Archangel Michael is releasing what was held in divine silence, because your healing cannot stay delayed. This isn't about making sense of everything that happened. This is about releasing you from the weight of what you've carried alone. You were never weak. You were a warrior clothed in invisible bruises. You were never forgotten. You were written into a chapter of heaven's protection. And now the pages are turning. The healing will not come in explosions. It will come in waves. Gentle, holy, sacred. It will come in soft reminders that your story is being rewritten. Heaven is not ignoring your past. Heaven is restoring your soul. Archangel Michael says, your silent seasons are over. The pain you thought was hidden has been seen. The weight you carried has been measured. And the reward for your endurance is already in motion. Let this be your declaration. Now I am not invisible to heaven. I am not forgotten. God is close to my broken heart. And healing has begun for me. Say it aloud. Let the walls of your room hear the truth that heaven has spoken over you. You were never meant to carry this pain into your next season. The ache in your chest, the tightness in your spirit, it wasn't yours to keep forever. It was a signal, a cry, and heaven has answered. You were not abandoned in the silence. You were being preserved. You were not ignored in your sorrow. You were being studied by angels. They watched how you still loved, still served, still prayed, still hoped. That does not go unnoticed. So now, let this word be your rest. Let this be the night your shoulders finally loosen. Let this be the morning where you don't have to fake being okay. Archangel Michael stands beside you now, not just as a messenger, but as a witness, a divine protector who has seen the nights you cried yourself to sleep, and now says, no more hiding, no more pretending, no more pain disguised as peace. God is not ashamed of your weakness. He draws near to it. He heals through it. He restores around it. He transforms within it. This isn't the beginning of your breakdown. It's the beginning of your breakthrough. You're going to feel lighter. Not because everything suddenly makes sense, but because your soul knows heaven has spoken. The truth has been declared. You are not overlooked. You are not unseen. You are not broken beyond repair. You are deeply known, deeply loved, and fully covered. If you feel the stirring in your spirit, whisper this now: I receive my healing. I welcome divine restoration. My silent wounds are no longer hidden. Beloved, it begins here, not with applause, not with noise, but with a sacred whisper, a heavenly touch, a quiet miracle. The pain you hid so well is now being addressed by heaven itself. And every tear that fell in secret has been stored in divine remembrance. Nothing was wasted, nothing was missed, and nothing will remain the same. You're not waiting to be healed. The healing has already started, and the one who carries this healing is walking with you now. Archangel Michael says, "Rest, chosen one." The pain that once defined you is no longer your identity. Heaven saw it all, and heaven has begun the restoration. You may feel fragile right now, but fragile does not mean forgotten. It means the healing is fresh, and the covering is near. So lean in, exhale, and receive the peace you've been denied for too long. You are safe now. You are seen now. You are whole, not because of what they said, but because of what heaven is doing. And beloved, this is only the beginning. Stay with me, because in the next part, we will uncover what tried to come against you and why it could not succeed. Heaven is not done revealing. Healing is in motion. Protection is being established. Your journey forward has just begun. Before we go further, seal this word by writing, "Healing is mine," in the comments. Let heaven see your agreement and your miracle begin. Some pain wasn't personal. It was spiritual. Beloved, not every wound was caused by words. Not every betrayal came from the surface. And not every loss was just bad timing. Some of the battles you faced had nothing to do with you being weak. They had everything to do with you being chosen. There are things that came against you that had no name, no face, no clear reason, and yet they disrupted your peace. They confused your purpose. They made you question who you were and why everything suddenly became heavy. Some pain wasn't personal, it was spiritual. Archangel Michael has come to reveal the truth about that season. That strange tension, that invisible pressure, the sudden chaos in your home, the unexplained division in your family, the moments where it felt like something unseen was fighting you from behind the scenes. Ephesians 6-12 says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." This wasn't just conflict. It was spiritual interference. It was darkness recognizing your light and trying to extinguish it. It was hell noticing your assignment before you fully stepped into it. Because you were never just living a life. You were walking toward a calling, and anything with a calling becomes a target. But listen to me. Not one attack worked, not one scheme succeeded. Because heaven covered you before you even knew you were at war. Archangel Michael says, there were assignments sent to destroy you, but they failed. There were spirits assigned to discourage you, but they collapsed under the weight of your endurance. You didn't even see the full force of what was planned against you, because heaven blocked it. There were nights you felt so close to giving up, so close to disappearing. You didn't know it, but angels stood guard around your bed. When you had no strength to pray, they prayed over you. When your heart was numb, they carried your name before the throne. You were not abandoned in that season. You were being defended. This wasn't about petty drama. This was about destiny. The enemy wasn't after your happiness. He was after your momentum. He wasn't trying to hurt your feelings. He was trying to halt your growth. Because once you became aware of who you are in God, your authority would become unstoppable. But even before you understood spiritual warfare, heaven understood your worth. Archangel Michael was assigned to you, not after the attack started, but long before it ever began. While people misread your silence, angels recorded your resilience. While others walked away, confused, the heavens remained stationed beside you, because the battle was never theirs to see, it was yours to survive. And survive you did. Now a divine reversal is underway. What tried to confuse your mind is being exposed. What tried to divide your family is being healed. What tried to silence your voices is being forced to listen. Because the spiritual attack didn't weaken you. It awakened you. It made you sensitive to God. It made you alert to the unseen. It pulled you closer to the voice that never lied to you. You may not have realized it then, but you were gaining strength in the fire. You were being taught how to hear heaven even when the noise was loud. So now you walk differently. Now you pray differently. Now you see the signs before the storm arrives. Because what tried to destroy you only refined you. Declare this aloud. What came against me was unseen, but so was my protection. I am covered. I am guarded. I am not at war alone. Don't let the enemy trick you into thinking that confusion means God is absent. Sometimes heaven is silent, not because it's ignoring you, but because the battle is already being handled without you. You've been protected from breakdowns you didn't even know were scheduled. You've been pulled back from edges you didn't realize were dangerous. That wasn't luck. That was divine intervention. Archangel Michael says, every trap set against your mind has been disarmed. Every spiritual dart aimed at your peace has been blocked. Every plan sent to ruin your family has been reversed. You were chosen for this protection, not because you earned it, but because heaven knows your assignment is sacred. There's a reason you're still standing. There's a reason your faith still flickers, even when everything else feels dark. It's because you are not fighting alone. Let this settle deep in your spirit. The battle was real, but so was the angelic shield. The late-night anxiety, the sudden fear, the moments of despair that didn't match your outer life, all of it was warfare. But heaven has declared the war is shifting. You're not just protected, you're being repositioned. And from this point forward, you will begin to see signs that the attack has lifted. You'll feel clarity return. You'll notice peace where there was tension. You'll experience sudden rest where there was constant restlessness. And when it happens, you'll know it wasn't coincidence. It was the hand of God. It was the presence of angels. It was the mercy of heaven breaking through on your behalf. Declare this: the battle was real, but I am still standing. What was sent to destroy me failed, and what's coming next will redeem every day I almost gave up. Breathe again. The atmosphere around you is changing, not just emotionally, spiritually. God is placing a hedge around your next steps, and Archangel Michael remains assigned to your defense. Do not fear the shadows. Do not shrink under the memory of warfare. You've passed through it, and now the other side is being revealed. So walk boldly, sleep deeply, pray freely, because what tried to stop you has only trained you. This isn't just your survival story. It's your spiritual awakening. And in the next part, heaven will reveal the generational weight behind this battle and why you were chosen to end what others could not. Stay close, beloved. The revelation is just beginning, and heaven is still speaking. This battle didn't begin with you, but it will end with you. Beloved, you need to understand something sacred. What you've been feeling isn't just personal. It's been passed down. You've been fighting patterns you didn't choose, pain that didn't start with you, and storms that have cycled through your family like a shadow no one could name. But heaven has named it. And today, Archangel Michael has come to announce that it ends with you. This battle didn't begin with you, but it will end with you. You've been facing waves of emotional exhaustion that seem to come from nowhere. Relational breakdowns that repeat like clockwork. Loss that knocks just as peace starts to settle. And questions that haunt you in quiet moments. You're not imagining this. You've been chosen to see what others ignored, to feel what others numbed, to break what others unknowingly carried. The truth is this: there was a curse that tried to stay in your bloodline. It whispered through generations. It disguised itself as bad luck, broken trust, sudden loss, and silent sabotage. But it wasn't random. It was strategic. You've inherited battles that were never yours. But you've also inherited divine authority to stop them. Galatians 3:13 says, "Christ redeemed us from the curse of the law by becoming a curse for us." That means what tried to stick to your name now has no legal right. The blood of Jesus broke its grip, but someone in the line has to enforce that truth. And heaven chose you. Archangel Michael says, "You are the bloodline breaker. You are the one who sees through the darkness. You are the one who won't pretend it's normal anymore." You've been called to disrupt cycles. Cycles of betrayal, cycles of secrecy, cycles of addiction, cycles of mental torment, cycles of relational destruction and sudden poverty. The assignment on your life was never just about you. It was about everyone connected to your name. There's a reason you feel everything deeply, a reason you were set apart, a reason certain rooms felt uncomfortable. Your spirit wasn't confused, it was discerning. And now the veil is being torn. You were born into a system that was meant to break you, but heaven designed you to break the system instead. The curse is canceled. It may have tried to follow you. It may have risen through people you trusted. It may have clung to habits agreements or family traditions. But it cannot survive what is being revealed now. This is why the warfare felt so intense. You weren't just dealing with personal hardship. You were standing at the gate of a family stronghold. And every step you took in truth sent tremors through the spiritual foundations beneath your bloodline. Archangel Michael has seen it. Heaven recorded the nights you cried without understanding why. The days you felt the pressure, but couldn't explain the weight. The resistance that showed up every time you tried to grow. That wasn't coincidence. That was confrontation. And you stood your ground. You didn't break. You awakened. You didn't run. You prayed. You didn't surrender. You fasted. You didn't ignore it. You asked God for truth. And now truth is setting you free. The hidden envy that ran through generations is being exposed. The jealousy that ruined relationships is losing its power. The silence that protected dysfunction is being shattered. You are not like the ones before you. You are the one who chose healing. You are the one who walks with eyes open. You are the one who said, "This stops with me." Heaven heard that. And the angels were dispatched. Say this aloud: "I break every generational curse in my bloodline. I cancel every silent pattern of sabotage, loss, and fear. It stops with me. I am covered. I am redeemed. I am free." You don't have to carry their shame. You don't have to repeat their mistakes. You don't have to suffer their cycles. The cross already did the work. Now you just have to step into the inheritance. Archangel Michael says, you are stepping into divine clarity. The fog of confusion is lifting. What you once tolerated, you will now recognize. What you once feared, you will now confront. Because the authority in you is no longer dormant. You are not cursed. You are commissioned to bring healing where silence once reigned. Commissioned to bring peace where chaos lived for too long. Commissioned to bless what was once broken. This is why you couldn't stay quiet. Why the family tension was too loud to ignore. Why your soul refused to accept what others normalized. Because you were wired to heal, designed to see, anointed to interrupt. And now the spiritual alignment has begun. Doors that were sealed are opening. Blessings that were withheld are being released. Relationships are being recalibrated. Old agreements are being revoked in the courts of heaven. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your growth. You don't need approval to break a curse. You need only your yes to God. Say this again: the curse ends with me. I release the old and receive the new. I declare peace over my bloodline, healing over my family, and light into every shadow. This is the turning point. From confusion to clarity, from fear to fire, from a silent suffering to divine strength. You are not who they said you were. You are not bound by what they did. You are not limited by what they feared. You are the new beginning, and heaven is backing you. Archangel Michael says, "The curse that tried to stay has no place in your presence. Your footsteps are anointed. Your prayers are unlocking destiny. Your obedience is shaking history." Don't be surprised when things shift, when certain people distance, when old patterns rise for one final fight. It means the curse is dying, and the new has come. Walk boldly, walk clean, walk free. Because in the next part, you'll see how even the losses were part of heaven's protective strategy. You didn't just survive the curse, you ended it. And now protection will lead your path forward. Stay close, beloved. There's more to reveal. What left your life wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Beloved, you've cried over what walked away. You've asked heaven why they left, why the ones you trusted grew silent, why those you loved the deepest backed away just when you needed them most. And heaven heard every whisper of that pain. But today, Archangel Michael has been sent to deliver a truth that will shift your spirit. What left your life wasn't rejection, it was redirection. You didn't lose protection, you gained it. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." There were people you thought were your forever. Relationships you thought were sacred. Friendships you assumed would hold. But when the shaking came, they disappeared. At the time, it felt like abandonment. But heaven is revealing now. It was divine removal. You didn't see it then, but God was clearing the space for something greater. Not because you weren't worthy of their presence, but because their presence was no longer worthy of your purpose. Archangel Michael says, "Heaven orchestrated exits to protect you from assignments that could have delayed your destiny." Some people weren't sent to carry your calling. They were assigned to your past. And when their time expired, it wasn't cruelty, it was mercy. You kept reaching for what was walking away. But heaven was pulling you toward what would stay. You asked, why did they stop showing up? Heaven responded with silence. Because some answers come later when your heart is healed enough to hear them. This is that moment. You were never meant to carry everyone into your next season. Some relationships were seasonal scaffolding, not foundational support. Once their role in your structure was complete, God removed them so they wouldn't block your view of the future. Your isolation wasn't punishment. It was preparation. When no one returned your calls, when the room grew quiet, when you were left to walk alone, heaven was teaching you how to hear God more clearly. Your discernment sharpened. Your spirit grew sensitive. Your roots went deeper. And the space they left became the altar where you learned to stand. Say this aloud: I release what was never meant to stay. I make room for divine protection. I welcome redirection as holy guidance. It's not that they were evil. It's that they weren't equipped to handle the version of you that was emerging. And God, in His mercy, shielded you from distractions that would have derailed your anointing. You see, beloved, protection doesn't always look like walls. Sometimes it looks like closed doors. Sometimes it feels like loneliness. Sometimes it breaks your heart before it saves your soul. But heaven never removes without replacing. And what's coming next will not require you to shrink or explain. Archangel Michael says, what you thought was rejection was actually rerouting. Heaven stepped in when you didn't even realize danger was forming. You were shielded through the subtraction. Think back. That conversation that never happened. That opportunity that slipped away. That person who ghosted without warning. It hurt. But it also freed you from things your spirit hadn't yet discerned. And now the grief is lifting. Because heaven is showing you the covering that loss created. It wasn't punishment. It was preparation. There are some blessings you couldn't have received if certain people had stayed. Their presence would have drained what heaven was trying to fill. Their opinions would have planted doubt in sacred soil. Their energy would have clouded the miracle that was approaching. So God removed them, not out of cruelty, but covenant. He promised to uphold you, and sometimes that means holding you up when others walk away. Say this again: heaven didn't forget me. It protected me. The ones who left were making room for what is holy. You are not behind. You are not unloved. You are not invisible. You are protected. And that protection came disguised as loss. But now, beloved, the veil is being lifted. And what once looked like rejection now looks like wisdom. The silence was sacred. The departure was divine. The loneliness was a lesson. And you are no longer the same. You've gained clarity. You've gained strength. You've gained space for true alignment. Archangel Michael says, the covering over your life required sacred separation. Now your path is clear. Your energy is protected. And your blessing will not be delayed by what you once begged to stay. Let your heart exhale. You don't have to chase anymore. You don't have to convince anyone to return. You are not being left behind. You are being led forward. The pain of losing was the start of supernatural covering. The ache in your chest was heaven making room. And now that room is about to be filled with purpose, peace, and people who are truly assigned to your next chapter. Declare this now: I welcome what is meant for me. I no longer mourn what was divinely removed. I am protected. I am redirected. I am held by heaven's hand. This is the moment where grief transforms into gratitude, where what hurt you becomes what held you, and where protection rises like a shield around your next step. You are not empty. You are ready. Stay close, beloved. Because in the next part, Archangel Michael will reveal what heaven blocked and how even unanswered prayers were a shield sent from God. The protection continues, and the revelation has only just begun. What you didn't receive was divine protection in disguise. Beloved, there were things you prayed for that didn't happen, doors you knocked on that didn't open, people you waited on who never showed up, answers that never arrived, opportunities that slipped through your fingers. And for a long time, you wondered, was I forgotten? Was I denied? Did I miss my moment? But today, heaven speaks clearly. What you didn't receive was divine protection in disguise. There are things that looked like delay, but they were actually deliverance. There were invitations you never got, phone calls that were never returned, messages that went silent, and plans that suddenly unraveled. Not because you weren't good enough, not because you weren't ready, but because heaven stepped in and blocked what would have harmed you later. Psalm 121:7 says, "The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life." There are things you don't even know heaven saved you from. You saw the closed door, but you didn't see what was on the other side. You felt the silence, but you didn't hear the conversation behind it. You grieved what didn't happen, but you didn't see the trap forming in the background. Archangel Michael says heaven intercepted what would have wounded your spirit. Some of the people you thought were your destiny would have drained you. Some of the platforms you wanted would have compromised you. Some of the relationships you chased would have distracted you. And God said no, not as punishment, but as preservation. Heaven blocked what was about to harm you. And while you were praying for more, God was quietly protecting the little piece you had left. You thought it was rejection, but it was redirection again. This time deeper, stronger, quieter. You are not overlooked. You are preserved. There is a difference. To be overlooked is to be forgotten. But to be preserved is to be intentionally hidden. Hidden from the wrong eyes, hidden from the wrong timing, hidden from the wrong agenda. Heaven hid your name from the hands that would mishandle you. God withheld your presence from the places that would misuse your purpose. Say this aloud: every delay was divine defense. I trust the hand of God even when I don't understand the outcome. You were protected in silence. You were guarded in delay. You were loved in ways you didn't even realize. Archangel Michael says, what you called unanswered prayers were actually angelic assignments. The things you wanted were seen by heaven, but they were filtered through wisdom. God doesn't withhold to punish, He withholds to protect. And when the protection is in place, your destiny remains intact. There were conversations about you that never reached your ears, and that was God's mercy. There were partnerships forming that your name was removed from, and that was heaven's defense. Now you can breathe again, because nothing meant for you was ever lost, and nothing lost was ever meant for you. The season of confusion is lifting, and the peace that follows is proof that heaven had its hand on every closed door. There were things you begged for that would have broken you, and now with time and perspective, you're beginning to see it. Let this truth rest in your spirit. God's no is sometimes louder than His yes. And when He says no, it's not because He doesn't love you. It's because He loves you too much to let you walk into something your spirit wasn't designed to carry. Heaven sees beyond the moment, beyond the profile, beyond the offer, beyond the smile. And sometimes God blocks the very thing you're praying for because He knows what's hiding behind it. Say this again: I was not overlooked. I was preserved. Every delay was protection. Every silence was shelter. You are stepping into what is meant for you. What will fit? What will bless? What will multiply peace, not confusion? What will expand your purpose, not shrink your identity? You're not behind. You're right on time. Because what's aligned by heaven cannot be rushed by man. And what was blocked wasn't a loss. It was a holy detour. Archangel Michael says, the enemy thought the disappointment would destroy you, but it only trained you to trust in divine timing. Now, beloved, you walk with a new confidence, not in your plans, but in God's vision, not in people's words, but in heaven's covering. You're not bitter anymore. You're aware. You're not questioning. You're resting. You're not striving. You're trusting. Because you know now you are divinely watched, carefully shielded, lovingly redirected. Every missed connection, every closed opportunity, every conversation that never happened was heaven saying, "Not this. I'm saving you for something better." And that something better, it's already in motion. So let your heart exhale. Let the ache for what didn't happen be replaced with gratitude. For what didn't hurt you, let the peace of knowing you are divinely guarded sink deep into your soul. Say this softly: God, thank you for what you blocked. Thank you for what didn't work out. I trust you now more than ever. Because the protection wasn't temporary. It's permanent. It's strategic. And it's still active. Archangel Michael remains assigned to your path. He still stands watch. He still defends you in places you cannot see. And the same angels who blocked the harm are now guiding you toward your healing. What you didn't receive wasn't a denial. It was a detour to destiny, a shield you didn't know you needed. And now, beloved, you are walking forward not empty, but preserved. Stay close, because in the next part, we step fully into restoration. And heaven will show you how everything lost is already being returned, rebuilt, and redeemed. The protection was never the end. It was the beginning of your rise. The wait is ending. Restoration is already in motion. Beloved, this is not a coincidence. You didn't press play by accident. Heaven arranged this moment so you would know you have not been forgotten. You have not been left behind. You are not too late. This is your sign. Restoration has already begun. The wait wasn't wasted. The delay wasn't denial. It was preparation. God was doing a work behind the scenes, rebuilding what you thought was lost forever. Joel 2:25 says, "I will restore to you the years the locusts have eaten." Not just the days, not just the moments, but the years. The entire seasons where pain seemed louder than purpose. The stretches of time when confusion clouded your calling. God has not only remembered them, He is redeeming them. Archangel Michael declares, the rebuilding phase has begun. The foundations of your life are being touched by heaven's hand. You may not see the full picture yet, but the signs are already surrounding you. Have you noticed it? Sudden dreams that feel more vivid. Numbers repeating when you weren't even looking for them. People crossing your path at just the right time. Conversations that carry divine confirmation. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Heaven is aligning what was once scattered. Restoration is not coming. It has started. The opportunities that dried up are being replaced with new doors. The relationships that broke down are being healed or replaced with divine connections. Your faith is being reawakened. Your joy is being rebuilt. Your peace is being restored from the ground up. And even now, while you listen, angels are moving. Spiritual structures are shifting in your favor. The weight you once carried is being lifted. The heaviness in your atmosphere is breaking apart. The sense of being stuck is losing its grip. This is your sign. You are stepping into a season of holy recovery, and you will recover all. Say this out loud: I receive my restoration. Everything I lost is being restored. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is forgotten. Heaven is rebuilding my life. You see, beloved, God never begins something He does not finish. And what felt like the end was simply a pause. A pause to protect. A pause to prepare. A pause to position you. Archangel Michael says, the season of survival is over. The era of rebuilding has begun. There's a new momentum in your life. It's quiet but undeniable. You're waking up with more clarity. You're making decisions with less fear. You're hearing God's voice in the little things again. That's restoration. You no longer need to beg for what's already been set in motion. You no longer have to chase what heaven has already assigned. You are not striving. You are stepping, not reaching, receiving. There is no need to force what God is flowing. Let this truth anchor you. What's mine cannot miss me. What's meant for me is magnetized to my presence through God's plan. Even your mistakes are being woven into the restoration. The missteps, the missed signs, the moments you wish you could redo, God is folding them into the new story He is writing over your life. This is not partial restoration. This is full circle redemption. You are not just receiving what was lost. You are gaining what was delayed. You are stepping into overflow. You are moving into multiplied peace. Say this again: I will recover all. What was taken will be returned with interest. I am in my rebuilding season. Archangel Michael says heaven has assigned angels to your restoration. You will be surrounded by evidence. Small signs will turn into major shifts, and what was silent will soon speak. The very places where you were once broken will become places of beauty. The pain will not be erased. It will be transformed. You will look back and see the hand of God in every detour, every delay, every silence. And you'll say, it had to happen this way. Because this version of me is who I was always meant to become. So do not grow weary. Do not give up. Do not assume restoration has to come with loud miracles. Sometimes it comes in quiet consistency. The way your soul starts to settle. The way your sleep becomes deep again. The way peace returns to your mind even before the breakthrough appears. This is how you know restoration is already here. And if you believe that, if you sense even a flicker of that confirmation in your spirit, type Amen in the comments now. Declare it aloud, then share this with someone you love, because their restoration may already be in motion too. Don't keep the sign to yourself. Pass it forward. Become a messenger of restoration to someone else. Because just like heaven chose you to hear this, heaven may be using you to deliver it too. You are walking into what eyes haven't seen. You are being prepared for favor that felt too far. And everything that once felt delayed is coming into alignment faster than you imagined. Archangel Michael says, this is not a moment. This is a movement. The rebuilding of your life is sacred. Heaven has begun the restoration, and nothing can stop it now. So lift your head, straighten your back, and prepare for restoration in your home, your health, your calling, your finances, your emotions, and your future. This is your sign. And in the next part, you will see how this restoration expands beyond you, how your body, your mind, and your home are all under divine covering. Stay close. Heaven is just getting started. You are not just protected spiritually. You are covered completely. Beloved, listen closely. Heaven doesn't do things halfway. When God covers you, He doesn't just protect your soul. He covers your body. He covers your mind. He covers the very space you live in. You are not just protected spiritually. You are covered completely. That tension you've been feeling in your chest, the anxiety that rises without warning, the strange unease in your own home, it's not random. It's spiritual. But it's also being addressed. Because heaven has surrounded every part of you with holy defense. Psalm 91:4 says, He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart. Archangel Michael speaks this word over you. Now you are under watch. Every doorway, every room, every part of your mind and physical body. We have surrounded you. Healing is not just emotional, it's layered. It's physical, emotional, environmental. And heaven is now covering all three. Let's begin with your body. That weariness that won't break. The fatigue that makes no sense. The sudden tension in your shoulders. The tightness in your spirit. Even the unexplained aches and stress that linger. These are not just symptoms. They're signals. Your body has been carrying spiritual weight, and now heaven is lifting it. Angelic presence has been assigned to rest on your physical frame, to surround your health, to renew the parts of you that have been drained from prolonged stress. You don't have to carry it anymore. Say this aloud: I release the heaviness in my body. I receive divine peace and healing in every cell. I am covered from head to toe. Archangel Michael is also watching over your mind. The overthinking, the spirals of fear, the loops of doubt that play in silence. They are breaking, not by your effort, but by divine presence. God is covering your mind. Your thoughts are being rewired with peace. Your rest is being restored. Your sleep will no longer be interrupted by invisible pressure. Declare this softly: my thoughts are protected. My mind is at ease. God is in my thinking, and I will not fear what I cannot control. And now you're home. The walls that have heard your cries, the pillow that has absorbed your silent tears, the air that has carried the weight of worry, even the corners of your space that feel heavy with emotional memory. All of it being cleansed now. Heaven has sent help to your environment. Your dwelling place is being anointed. Your home is not just a location, it is a sanctuary. And what once felt tense will soon feel light. Archangel Michael says, every room you walk through is now under holy watch. Every object, every hallway, every inch of your space is under divine guard. Right now, speak a blessing aloud over your space. It may feel strange, but heaven responds to voice. Say this: I declare my home is safe. Peace lives here. Fear cannot dwell here. Every room is covered. Every spirit not of God must leave now. This space belongs to the Lord. You may begin to feel something shift even now. A stillness, a clarity, a peace rising from the floor to the ceiling. Because when heaven anoints a space, the atmosphere changes. Protection is not just presence. It's power. Power to disarm what once caused distress. Power to reverse what once lingered in the air. Power to turn your bedroom into a sanctuary. Your kitchen into a place of praise. Your living room into a haven of calm. This is your home, and it is now under divine rule. Even your sleep is being reclaimed. You will lie down and not be afraid. You will dream again, without fear, without interruption. And you will wake up rested because heaven stands watch through the night. Psalm 4:8 says, in peace I will lie down and sleep for you alone. Lord, make me dwell in safety. The nights that felt restless are coming to an end. The battle over your bedroom has been won. The fight over your thoughts has been stopped. The heaviness in your body is lifting even now, because the covering is real. It is complete, and it is permanent. Say this again with confidence: I am covered completely. Body, mind, and home. My peace is protected. My space is holy. My life is under God's watch. Archangel Michael says, the feathers of protection now rest over your bed. The walls of your home are lined with light. Your body is being strengthened. Your thoughts are being cleared. You are safe, and nothing can harm you here. Let your next breath be deep, not from exhaustion, but from release. Let the air around you feel different, because it is. The atmosphere has shifted, the anointing is active, and the protection is sealed. This covering is not temporary. It's ongoing. And every time you enter your home, you will begin to feel it, the calm, the clarity, the confirmation that heaven lives here. You are not alone. You never were. And now, as this chapter closes, you will begin to sense restoration spreading deeper into the very relationships, memories, and people you once thought were lost. Stay close, beloved, because in the next part, heaven will reveal how the very ones who misunderstood you are beginning to see the truth, and their tears will become part of your healing. The covering has made way for something more, and heaven is not finished yet. They once misjudged you. Now they can't stop praying for you. Beloved, something holy is happening behind the scenes. A shift in a heart you thought would never change. A stirring in someone who once betrayed you. They can't explain it. They can't run from it. And now the tears they once ignored are falling. Not from your eyes, but from theirs. This is the divine reversal you didn't see coming. The one you didn't ask for, but deeply needed. Not to prove a point, not to seek revenge, but to confirm what heaven already knew about you. They once misjudged you, spoke against you, assumed the worst, believed the lie. Maybe they left, maybe they betrayed, maybe they stayed silent when you needed them to speak. But now, they know the truth, and it's breaking them open. Archangel Michael says, they've seen what you carried in silence. They now realize how wrong they were. You didn't need to defend yourself. You didn't need to beg for understanding. God has allowed them to see not through your words, but through their own regret. Luke 6:28 says, bless those who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. You did just that. You chose to walk away quietly. You chose to keep your heart soft. You prayed even when it hurt. And now the one who once judged you is praying for you. They're asking for forgiveness, not publicly, not loudly, but in the quiet corners of their soul. They whisper your name now with reverence. Their pride is crumbling under the weight of revelation. What they called rebellion in you was actually resilience. What they mocked was actually anointing. What they dismissed as weakness was actually wisdom. Archangel Michael reveals this truth to you now. Their private repentance is real. They've seen the light in you, and it's exposing the shadows in them. Don't be surprised if their spirit reaches for you through a message, through a soft conversation, through a gesture that seems small, but carries deep apology. They may never say, I was wrong. They may never ask for your forgiveness in clear words. But their eyes will say it. Their silence will say it. Their tears will say it. And when that moment comes, you'll feel a sacred shift. Not because they returned, but because you'll finally feel released. You've become the proof, the walking evidence, the living testimony that God can use betrayal as the birthplace of blessing. Say this aloud, I release them, not because they deserve it, but because I'm ready to be free. Forgiveness doesn't always mean reconnection. It doesn't mean pretending it never happened. It means refusing to carry the weight of it any longer. It means letting heaven deal with what your hands were never meant to fix. You are not required to return to what God called you out of. You are not obligated to lower your frequency to meet someone in their old pain. You have risen, and your peace is your confirmation. What once wounded you is now fueling your elevation. You were not destroyed by what they did. You were propelled, transformed, made stronger. Archangel Michael says, your glow now convicts them. Your peace now humbles them. And your silence speaks louder than anything you could ever say. They cry not just for what they did. They cry for what they missed, for the version of you they never saw, for the loyalty they rejected, for the kindness they misunderstood, for the grace they threw away. And those tears, they are holy, because they mark the beginning of their healing and the full release of your own. You didn't need to fight for your name. Heaven protected it. You didn't need to prove your worth. God revealed it. You didn't lose. You rose. Say this again with power: I forgive. I release. I rise. What once broke me has now built me. This is maturity. This is healing. This is elevation. Not everyone will understand how you kept going, how you stayed soft in a hard world, how you chose peace instead of payback. But heaven knows. And now the very person who once questioned your light is sitting in the glow of it. They can't unsee it. They can't undo what they've done. But they're learning now. Learning through their tears what love really looks like, what strength really feels like, what grace really costs. Archangel Michael says, the very thing they tried to diminish is now the thing they admire. You didn't retaliate. You radiated, and your radiance is reaching them. It may feel heavy, this moment of reversal, but don't carry their guilt. You are not their judge. You are not their redeemer. You are simply the one God used to reveal what truth, mercy, and transformation look like. And now heaven will take it from here. Let go of the outcome. Release the memory. Walk in the light that chose you. Your hands are clean. Your name is clean. And your future is untouched by their past. You are no longer the version of you that was wounded. You are the healed version, the chosen one, the example, the restoration. Say it once more: I release them. And in releasing them, I release myself. Now rest. Your soul has carried enough. Let heaven continue the work. Let the tears they cry water the seeds of your next blessing. And stay close, because in the next part, heaven will reveal how your entire household, your environment, your very atmosphere is being kept under divine surveillance. The blessing doesn't stop here. It expands, and the next wave is already forming. Every betrayal birthed something eternal in you. Beloved, look at you, still standing, still glowing, still rising, not in spite of the attacks, but because of them. They didn't break you. They built you. The betrayal didn't bury you. It birthed something eternal in you. This is not weakness you're walking in. It's wisdom. It's weight. It's authority that could only be forged in fire. Every lie they spoke, every door they closed, every misunderstanding that left you in tears, heaven saw it all, and none of it was wasted. Genesis 50:20 says, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done." The saving of many lives. Archangel Michael says, "What they sent to destroy you, heaven repurposed to develop you." Yes, they targeted your heart. Yes, they questioned your motive. Yes, they twisted your words. And yes, it stung. But instead of silencing you, it woke something in you. You started praying differently. You started discerning faster. You started hearing God more clearly. What was sent to attack your confidence actually sharpened your clarity. Beloved, you've been activated. There was a version of you that existed before the betrayal, but this version is battle-tested, spiritually alert, fully awake. You don't beg for peace, now you carry it. You don't explain your value, now you embody it. Every misunderstanding forced you to find your voice. Every closed door pushed you toward the one God was unlocking. Every storm forced your roots deeper into truth. They tried to dim your light, but now you shine brighter. They thought they could silence you, but now your presence speaks louder than words. Say this aloud: every attack formed against me became fuel. I am not defeated. I am defined by heaven's hand. Archangel Michael watched you in the middle of the fire. Not one tear was missed. Not one moment of despair went unnoticed. There were nights when you questioned if you could keep going. And yet, something in you rose. Not from pride, not from fear, but from purpose. That wasn't just strength. That was divine activation. Angelic fire surrounded you at your breaking points. And what should have taken you out actually became the threshold of your transformation. They said you were done. God said, "Now we begin." They walked away. God stepped in. They buried your name. Heaven resurrected your identity. Beloved, you are not surviving anymore. You are leading. You are carrying something sacred. You've become a vessel of healing, not just for yourself, but for others. Your story now carries power. Your presence shifts atmospheres. Your words carry weight because they were birthed in war. You've become dangerous to darkness because you've seen too much light. Archangel Michael says your activation wasn't random. Heaven knew what was being forged in you. And now the very pain that shaped you has become your anointing. There is oil on your life, the kind that comes from crushing. And that oil is healing those around you. You don't have to preach to prove it. Just your calmness is a testimony. Just your survival is a sign. Just your peace is a prophetic announcement that what was sent to destroy you failed. Say this with boldness: I am activated, I am anointed, and I am advancing. There is no need to revisit the pit. You've risen from it. No need to rehearse the betrayal. It was heaven's stage to reveal your resilience. You are not the victim. You are the vessel. The attacks were only allowed because heaven knew they would never be your ending, they would be your ignition. Every time you felt forgotten, God was focusing. Every time they shut the door, He was building one that no man could close. This is your redemption season. Not because you escaped the fire, but because you endured it. And now carry the flame of healing for others. Archangel Michael says, you've been forged in holy fire. You walk with invisible armor. And what once felt like delay was really divine development. This is why your spirit feels stronger. This is why you can sense things others miss. This is why you now walk with discernment, with presence, with power. Because you're not who you used to be. You're becoming the answer to someone else's silent prayer. You're carrying the light someone else needs to see. And your scars are now sermons whispering hope into places where darkness once ruled. Say this again: every betrayal birthed something eternal in me. I am not defeated, I am deployed. I am a carrier of light. You're not just restored, you're reassigned. And the battlefield you walked through has now become the ground where your blessing will grow. No more shrinking, no more explaining, no more doubting. You've already been activated. Let this settle into your soul. The attack didn't work, but your anointing did. Now breathe deeply. The weight is lifting. And in the next part, you'll understand why your glow is not just beauty, it's proof. Heaven gave you this glow for a reason, and not everyone can handle it. Stay close, beloved. The fire made you. The angels kept you. And now the light in you will only grow stronger. Heaven gave you this glow. Not everyone can handle it. Beloved, the light around you is not a coincidence. It's not from make-up words or performance. It's not something you can explain. It's something you've become. This glow, it came through fire. It was carved out of nights when you thought you wouldn't make it. It was shaped in silence, in surrender, in survival. Heaven gave you this glow. And now the light in you is speaking louder than your past ever could. You carry peace now. Not just as an idea, but as an atmosphere. You carry presence, not for attention, but for assignment. You walk into rooms and the air shifts. Not because you're loud, but because the light within you is louder. Matthew 5:14 says, "You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden." And yet you've tried to hide, to shrink, to blend in, to make others comfortable, to keep the peace even if it meant dimming your own flame. But no more. Archangel Michael declares, this glow is not decoration. It is divine protection. It is testimony. It is the proof that heaven has touched you. Every part of your glow tells a story. It says, I endured, I healed, I surrendered, I rose. This glow is not pride. It's survival wrapped in holiness. It's not ego. It's evidence. You no longer need to explain how you got here. You no longer need to justify your peace. You no longer need to convince anyone why your light shines the way it does. Heaven saw what it cost you to walk in love. Heaven documented what it took for you to stay kind when cruelty surrounded you. Heaven covered you when others tried to shadow your worth. And now the radiance is undeniable. You've become light, and light cannot apologize for its nature. Say this aloud, I will not dim my glow to be accepted. I am walking in what God placed upon me. This light is holy. But here's the truth, beloved. Not everyone will understand it. Some will be drawn to it. Others will feel intimidated by it. Spiritual jealousy is real, but it is powerless against someone who walks in divine assurance. You don't need to fight to protect your glow. Let peace be your weapon. Let your calmness speak louder than their chaos. Let your posture remain graceful, because nothing disarms darkness like a soul at rest in its God-given radiance. You're no longer available for shrinking. You're no longer accessible to environments that ask you to be less than what heaven called you to be. Archangel Michael says, the glow around you is angel-guarded. It is not just beauty. It is evidence of battle. It cannot be copied. It cannot be contained. This light is sacred. It was prayed for. It was fought for. And now it is visible. Others may not say it out loud, but they see it. They feel it. They don't understand how you're still standing, how you keep radiating peace, how you recovered without revenge, how you shine after all you've been through. Let them wonder. You don't owe an explanation. Your glow is enough. Declare it again, heaven gave me this glow. I will not dim it for anyone. If that resonates with you, if you feel the glow of restoration coming back, type, I will not dim it. In the comments right now, declare it publicly. Let the heavens see you standing in your identity. Then share this with someone else whose light has returned, someone who needs to be reminded they don't need permission to shine. Beloved, you are not just reflecting light. You are becoming it. You are now a lighthouse, not only safe within yourself, but guiding others toward healing. This glow will open doors. This glow will attract favor. This glow will also disturb those still hiding in fear. But let it. You didn't endure everything just to blend in. You endured to stand out as a witness of what God can do. What once dimmed you now defines your brilliance. Archangel Michael says, walk boldly in your glow. Do not explain. Do not dilute. Do not hide. This is your armor. This is your assignment. Let the glow protect you. Let the glow lead you. Let the glow speak when your words are few. And when you feel the urge to shrink again, remember this moment, this word, this truth: you were never too much. You were never too bright. You were just surrounded by people who weren't ready for the reflection of what heaven placed on you. But now you've outgrown the shadows. Say this once more: I embrace my glow. I protect my peace. And I walk boldly in the light heaven gave me. Let this be the chapter where you rise without apology, where you shine without fear, where your glow becomes a map for others who are still finding their way. You are not the same, and you were never meant to be. So carry your light forward. Let it rest on your face. Let it cover your voice. Let it move through every room you enter. You're not just glowing. You are glory wrapped. Stay close. Because in the next part, you'll understand why heaven removed certain people from your life, not to hurt you, but to refine you, to make room for what matches your radiance. The next revelation is waiting. But for now, stand still, shine on, and remember, you will not dim again. Heaven didn't subtract. It refined. Beloved, breathe for a moment. Let your soul exhale. You've come a long way, and part of that journey, maybe the hardest part, has been learning how to keep walking after certain people stopped walking with you. The ones who used to call, the ones who once clapped for you, the ones who promised they would stay. But somewhere along the way, they left, or you had to let them go. And even if you don't say it out loud, there are nights you still wonder why. Why did they fade? Why did they walk away without explanation? Why did the connection you poured into so deeply feel so disposable on the other end? Today, heaven brings clarity. Archangel Michael says, they were not removed to hurt you. They were removed to refine you. Their exit made room for alignment. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. You don't have to understand why the door closed, but you do need to trust that it was God who closed it. There are people whose season in your life expired. But instead of walking away quietly, they created chaos, and you mistook that noise for importance. But now you see. What you thought was loss was actually interference being removed. Heaven didn't subtract. It refined. You didn't lose support. You lost distraction. You didn't lose love. You lost performance. You didn't lose your circle. You found your center. Let this truth enter your heart gently. Sometimes God closes the door because you wouldn't. He knows your loyalty. He knows your hope. He knows how long you try to hold on. But heaven saw what you didn't, what was happening behind your back, what was stirring in their heart, what their presence was quietly doing to your peace. Archangel Michael says, their presence was blocking your clarity. Their energy was lowering your authority. And heaven could not allow that in your next season. So don't let regret echo in your spirit. Let release become your rhythm. You are not the same person you were when they were part of your circle. Your spirit has shifted. Your frequency has risen. And the old alignment no longer fits your new assignment. This is not rejection. It's redirection. This is not punishment. It's protection. Say this aloud. I trust the divine separation. I no longer chase what walked away. I honor what was, but I release what cannot walk with me into what's next. There's something freeing about knowing you don't have to shrink anymore, that you don't have to explain the glow, that you no longer have to tolerate what your spirit has outgrown. Let them go, not with bitterness, but with gratitude. They served their purpose. They revealed what needed to be seen. They taught you how to hear God more clearly. And now your path is straightening. Your circle is smaller, but your peace is deeper. You are surrounded now by divine alignment. People who speak your language of healing. People who don't flinch at your growth. People who are not intimidated by your calling. But heaven needed space to bring them in. So heaven moved others out. Archangel Michael says, every removal was mercy. Every quiet departure was protection. Every ending was an entry into something more whole, more honest, more holy. You are not behind. You are not abandoned. You are being guided, covered, redirected toward divine companionship. Say this gently: I bless those who left. I forgive the silence. I receive the alignment. This is not about revenge. This is about release. It's about trusting that your journey is sacred, and not everyone has the capacity to walk beside you for its entirety. Your destiny is too weighty to carry unnecessary connections. Your peace is too expensive to be disrupted by temporary attachments. Your soul is too awakened to be dimmed by unhealed company. And now, beloved, you're lighter. You're clearer. You're stronger. Because the ones who were never meant to stay are no longer pulling at your spirit. You're no longer bending yourself to keep what heaven was trying to remove. You're no longer pleading with people to see your worth. You're no longer proving yourself to those who never had eyes for your light. You're walking freely, and heaven is smiling. Archangel Michael says, your circle may have shrunk, but your clarity has expanded. Your voice has been purified. Your future is protected. Let this part of your journey close with peace. Not all goodbyes are sad. Some are sacred. Some are written in love from heaven's hand. Say it one last time: heaven didn't subtract. It refined. And now, with your heart open and your spirit clean, you are ready for what's next. Stay close, because in the final part, you will hear the whispered confirmation your soul has waited for, that the healing is sealed, the protection is permanent, and your name is safe in divine hands. You can rest now, because the healing has begun and the protection is sealed. Beloved, exhale. Let your shoulders loosen. Let your spirit breathe. You've walked through fire and you did not burn. You've passed through deep waters and you did not drown. You've carried what others could not see, and you've been faithful with what few understood. And now, heaven speaks with finality. The healing is sealed. You are covered. This wasn't just a message. It was a visitation, a holy encounter, a divine confirmation from the courts of heaven that your soul is no longer carrying this alone. Psalm 121:8 says, the Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. From the rising of the sun to your final breath, you are watched. Not loosely, not occasionally, but continuously. Heaven has surrounded your life. With more than words, it has assigned covering. Archangel Michael bows before the strength you never advertised, the resilience that echoed silently in your day-to-day, the loyalty you gave even when your heart was breaking, the obedience you followed even when the road was lonely. Heaven saw it all, and now the reward is flowing, not in noise, but in peace. The covering is not only around your body, it wraps your thoughts. It rests over your home. It marks your relationships. It touches your finances. It surrounds your future. Every step you take is now guided. Every breath you draw is shielded. Every plan formed in truth is now under divine watch. Say this softly: I am covered. I am kept. I am safe. You are not too late. You have not missed your moment. You are not forgotten in the shuffle of life. You are not just one voice among many. Your name has been whispered in heaven's chambers, and heaven responded, not with thunder, not with earthquakes, but with steady, certain, irrevocable peace. Peace that cannot be stolen. Peace that cannot be mimicked. Peace that becomes your anchor and your crown. Archangel Michael says, what tried to harm you has failed. What tried to delay you has been dissolved. And what tried to shame you has now become a testimony of grace. You do not have to fight for the covering. It is sealed, not by human agreement, but by heaven's signature. This moment right now is a line in the sand, a turning point in the spirit. The grief that once lingered is being lifted. The weight that once held you back is being cut off. The fear that once clouded your thoughts is now being replaced with calm. You are not under threat. You are under protection. You are not hanging on by a thread. You are held by the hand that never lets go. Say this with stillness in your soul: the healing is sealed. The protection is permanent. I am held, loved, and remembered by heaven. No one can reverse what God has spoken over you. No one can break what heaven has already healed. No voice of accusation can reach you through this covering. No shadow of doubt can dwell where light now lives. You don't have to strive for approval anymore. You don't have to hustle for belonging. You don't have to earn what's already been given freely. You are covered, from the inside out, from the front to the back, from today into forever. Let this next breath be your first, as someone fully wrapped in divine assurance. Archangel Michael speaks this final benediction: may peace settle upon your chest like morning dew. May rest return to your nights. May clarity flow through your mind like a gentle stream. And may you always know you are never walking alone. This glow you carry now, it's not performance. It's protection. It's presence. It's a sign that heaven is close. It's a quiet mark on your life that says, this one belongs to me. You don't need to be louder. You don't need to prove more. You just need to stay in alignment with what heaven has already spoken. You are no longer in a season of delay. You are in a season of divine watchfulness. God has assigned angels to your path, to your children, to your name, to your purpose. And they are not leaving. This is what it means to be truly safe. Not that the world won't shift, but that you won't be shaken. Not that darkness won't try to return, but that it will find no entrance. Not that loss won't try to speak, but that your peace will speak louder. Now let your heart be still. Let your soul be at rest. Heaven has marked your name with peace, and you are exactly where you are meant to be. You can lay down tonight without fear. You can rise tomorrow without dread. You can walk forward knowing that every step is wrapped in holy protection. You are sealed. You are held. You are safe. And whenever you need to return to this truth, this sanctuary will be waiting. This voice will still be here. This covering will remain. So come back tomorrow. Come back when the world gets loud. Come back when your heart forgets. Come back when you just want to sit under peace again. This is your sanctuary. This is your space. Heaven meets you here. Now sleep in safety, wake in peace, and move in strength. Because the healing is sealed, and you, beloved, are forever covered.